Is up, people? I am coming to you from this incredible, beautiful, universal, energetic space in time to deliver some pretty cool shares with you guys. Something that I love to do is I love to drive and listen to music. And often when I do that, I get some cool insight. And I have a few things that I was listening to that landed for me. And I also wrote out something very cool that I've gathered along my path that I want to share, and I hope it lands for you. Something when I was driving home from the hospice, I was doing some more facilitator training and just being able to expand in the work that I'm doing with people that are dealing with grief and also that are exiting themselves. It is such humbling work, and it's truly a gift because it's a gift for me. And it's like we think, oh, we're doing some sort of service, but sitting and companioning and being with others and just listening and holding space and hearing their story and what they've overcome and what they're going through really puts life into perspective of the grand scheme of things. And why are we here? And where are we? We're in these shells and we're this energy and then what happens is everybody has to deal with it. We exit. Everybody has to go through the death process. And a lot of people are gravely afraid of talking about it and are deeply scared of what exiting is. And, you know, my belief is we're visitors here. And on my drive home, I'm listening to this song and it comes on and it says, "This is not your home." And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, this isn't my home. We're all visitors. We're temporarily experiencing life here. We all are going to transition. We're all made of energy, and we get to experience a transitioning process out of this shell into another form. And the fact that we're just visitors, it made me think, how do I want to be here? How do I want to experience? Do I want to be a good visitor? It's like when you go over to your friends and you're visiting them, do you want to cause chaos in their home and be loud and yelling and come with destructive energy and all of your problems and blame and victim and dump your shit onto other people? Or do you want to go to your visitor's home and bring maybe a little gift or a token of appreciation, enjoy some conversation, sharing back and forth, and be a really great visitor and leave feeling and impacting the other person that you've just shared your time with? And it's no different than us on Earth. Do we want to leave garbage and crap everywhere? Do we want to cause ruckus through other people's lives? Or do we want to impact and be of service, share, help others, give a smile, acts of service? It's ultimately up to us. And I love the fact of looking at life as we're just visiting. It's an energy exchange. So whatever I give out comes back to me. And it's like even holding on to attachments of people, places, and things, and like your home, your clothing. None of this is coming with you. And when people say to me, like, my loved one has passed or deeply afraid of dying, it's because you're afraid of the unknown. You don't know where you're going and you're thinking like, is this the end? But what if you open your mind to it's going to be an experience that we're inevitably going to experience. And every single day that we live here and are visiting, we are a day, an hour, and a step closer to dying. So even with our loved ones that may be exiting before us, yes, you're going to go through grief. It's going to be a roller coaster and ups and downs, and you're going to get through it. But look at it like this: every day that passes by is a day closer to being with my loved one. And knowing that our loved ones are always guiding us and they're always with us, acknowledging them, speaking to them, is such a beautiful experience, a part of the death experience in transforming your pain into purpose and connection and learning. It's a new beginning for everybody. So another thing that I want to share is regarding fear. So if you're afraid of new beginnings or chapters ending or death or a loved one passing away, or even maybe taking the next step in your life, maybe you're afraid of taking a big leap of faith in your business. And what fear will do, it will only be able to be used unconsciously. Fear pushes you backwards. So whenever I come into the experience or the gravely overwhelming feelings of fear in my body when I'm going to do something or I want to do something, when fear comes in, I know that I'm not consciously online in flow with life. I'm in fear. I am creating thoughts in my mind. I am ruminating. I'm thinking of maybe worst case scenarios or possible outcomes. It's not being in flow with the possibilities and tapping into the direction or where you want to actually go and your desired outcome. And it ultimately will push you backwards. So, fear, false evidence appearing real, it's not real. It's used as a tool that we learned throughout our lifetime and ancestral that kept us safe if we were running from a lion or we were trying to save ourselves. So it's really cool to tap into this fear, whether it be of death, whether it be moving forward, to really check in and know, is this my fears, my ego, or is this my true desires and wants? And trusting. When we're online and we're conscious, we're in flow, and we trust that no matter what decision we make is the right decision. And that's ultimately trusting yourself. Another one that's super important is the energy you attune to is what you become. When you leave this place and leave your body, and also when you are here. So, this one is super important because the frequency that we reside on here, and as we're exiting, is ultimately the frequency that we are exiting onto as well. So, knowing that it's important to work through your fears, get some help, get some support, grief support, support in your daily life to work through things, because it's important to raise your vibration, your frequency, and knowing that when we exit here, we're exiting into another plane, which is equally important. So if we're like afraid of death and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to a bad place, and you commit and omit, sorry, that frequency, you need to be very mindful. And it's why we come here. We come here to play, to have fun, to create, and to learn these things and help us remember who we are, how powerful we are. Okay, the next thing is when you acknowledge death, you actually have a purpose. When you start to accept that we all will die, you think, okay, if I'm dying each day, getting closer to my exit plan, how can I fully live here? Every day you are dying a little closer to exiting this place. But it's not actually leaving, it's transforming into something else. Honor it and understanding that we are eternal. And I'm sure you've experienced in your lifetime, if you've experienced a loved one exiting, maybe you've experienced witnessing their body, and you can see firsthand that there is a shell that gets left behind. It's a body, it's a vessel that we've been able to utilize. And that's why it's so important to honor our vessel, create peace inside, treat ourselves with love, work on that inner peace to create external peace. How you nourish your body, you work it out, you think thoughts of loving and kind, and you're kind to others. It is so important. So, when you're leaving and you are transforming into something else, honoring it, knowing that we are eternal, and doing the best that you can. So, when you know each day you're going to leave, how do you want to be? How do you want to turn your pain into purpose? How do you want to be for others? Remember, like I said, you are the visitor And so live for today. Today is Saturday morning for me. And how can I impact myself and this planet for the greatest good of all? I can leave a beautiful message like this and share some insight that might help you turn your day around and make you look at things and zoom out. You may not agree with what I have to say, but maybe take a piece of it and question. Leave here with a few seeds planted in your brain, thinking, okay, I'm going to think about that. And how do I feel about what she's saying right now? Maybe some of it will land. Maybe you can start to look deeper into this subject and question it. Just question. So, for me, understanding that we're visitors, understanding that we all have a purpose, I love to help people. I love to help people see the beautiful gifts in their most traumatic experiences and to turn their pain into purpose. I love to teach people how everything is a choice and you get to choose. You get to live your choices, your decisions, nobody else's. Healing the internal world heals the external world. Imagine everyone had a job and that was to heal their internal world. Wow. If you honored yourself and never let the external world disturb your inner peace, we wouldn't have external world wars. Heal the war within and watch your world transform. Something else. If someone is out to get you, and this is kind of reeling it back into the fear, and I wanted to give an example because examples really help me. So, in your mind, if you think that somebody was out to get you, the universe is responding to this. It has no idea what is good or bad, it just responds to your feelings, your thinking, and actions. Who you are is what you are. If you don't like what is happening, change yourself, not trying to change someone else. It's all an internal. And the last thing that I'm going to leave you with, this is short and sweet, is a little message that I wrote in the Sacred Soul group chat. And I heard a few of these little snippets of information and I just brought it together and I was like, oh my gosh, this is landing for me. And I'm going to share it now. Okay. Happy Saturday, Sacred Souls. I watched something that really landed for me. Let me know if this lands. Healing happens when you stop trying to fix yourself and pause. Sit in the silence and love all of you. You are already fixed. Healing is about loving those broken pieces inside. Loving those broken parts enough to let them breathe. Healing is a quiet process to learn to sit with the pain, to let the raw edges of your wounds to soften over time. Instead of rushing to feel better, give yourself the grace to be where you are. It's in the pauses, the deep breaths, and the self-compassion. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be patient with yourself. Healing happens when you stop fighting your pain and start loving yourself through it. Live as if you have a newborn baby in your heart. Nothing that the world does can wake the sleeping baby. The healing that is occurring within you is also healing within the world. What you heal inside by sitting and feeling, being so present, helps the world heal. You are doing massive work by facing your pain and your shadows and loving yourself. This is all part of the why we came here. Thank you for helping heal our world. I don't know if you realize this is why we came here. I'm beyond grateful for each and every one of you. Massive shifts are happening inside and outside. And I want to leave this message with you. There is massive shifts happening as you keep doing the internal work. Change your thoughts and your beliefs. What you feel inside, heal that to create a beautiful external. And what we heal in us, we're healing in others. Sending you so much love.